hold on. Let me do another clap. Oh, the clap. The clap. Oh. Gamers around the globe. Hello, hello, hello. We are here to do a bit of a tier list. A tier list. Now, I don't plan on doing this in order here, because there's some things I feel I need to talk about. I need to talk about. Tell me the truth. It's got to be. I didn't want to kill you guys with my clap, you know? The clap can deafen the soul, okay? All right. Now, this tier list, I'm going to be very straightforward about some things. So, S, A, B, C, D. We got to go. We got to talk about Zushi. Zushi is so good. It's so good. If you want to climb the ladder, this is how you do it. 100%. 100%. It's so good. I can't really think of a terrible matchup for it. Like, English can definitely put a thorn in your side, especially with like bad wood lines and stuff. But if you can get everything secured, Zushi just has everything on its side. It's versatile, it's greedy, it can rush you, it can the whole shebang. It feels like there's nothing that Zushi cannot do. And in that regard, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful civ to play. It's also insanely annoying to play because 1 minute you could be like, oh yeah, they're going 2TC, 3TC, and then it's like, oh, they're rushing me, I'm dead. You know, so Zushi, absolutely S tier. Other civs that are very, very, very damn... I almost want to put them in a tier on their own just because of how good they are, but you got to always respect Rus as well, I think. Rus are just an exceptional civ all round. Like, they've had little nerfs here and there, but the way that they work and function, they're also extremely versatile. Extremely versatile. Fellow in chat, can new players also play it, or is it too advanced? New players can play Zushi. We've actually seen a lot of players go up in rank from just spamming Zushi with builds that, you know, you're all in a dude. I've also got to play a lot of Zushi all-in-one triggers that if I do survive, which I'm very, very wounded, I've managed to win afterwards because they don't really know the follow-up so well. But yeah, new players absolutely can play Zushi. It's just when you play the other civs afterwards, you'll definitely feel a bit of pain because it's the best. It's the best. It has to be. S tier, are they pretty much the best two civs in general? I pretty much. You know what? As we go, I might change things, but I have to put these two on the S tier for now. Next civs that are like on my mind, I've got like Iabid. I'll put Iabid here. I think Iabid are very good as well. Like that whole fast castle shenanigans. The fact that Iabid is very good on water as well. We haven't really got many water maps in the pool, but they have that fast tech build that you can actually get H2 by like easily 4 minutes with a ship out, you know. Very, very, very good. Also the fast castle builds in general. The camel lancers are amazing. They have access to Ghulams as well, which are better men at arms at H3. They're just very, very good. So, just to talk about these three civs initially, with Zushi, very, very versatile, very flexible. They first started off with the monk build to get all the relics, but they've advanced to stuff completely different. I would say that's not even one of their top 5 strats now. Like 2TC, 3TC, Zug New Orleans, you name it. They're very good. They've also got an amazing late game with the fact that their eco is insane, but you can get Ming Dynasty that boosts all your unique units by 15% damage. You can get 15% movement speed on all your infantry, so that's Grenadiers, Palace Guards. And then you can also get Bombards, which I've had the joy of playing recently, where they actually are basically little great Bombards, like quite literally. And then you can switch your H4 landmark to make all your Grenadiers and your Bombards have 1 extra range. Very powerful. Rus, they love their 2TC jobbers. Very, very solid with that. And then you can pretty much play any way you want also. So both versatile. Because these, they like the Knight Archer in H2. They also can tech up. I love Horse Archers. Iabids, I don't think we've fully figured out how, like, the whole array of playing them yet. They're kind of going through a bit of the old school Malian treatment where we would just play fast Farimba and then mess people up. But then once that got nerfed a bit, we then discovered that Malian's actually very powerful with very other things. And even if it did go to the old stuff, I think we'd probably still be utilizing a lot of the Malian that we see now. So speaking of Malian, they've got to be up here. They've got to. Like, Malian's one of those civs that if you are against Zushi or Rus or Iobid, Malian can actually kind of stand toe-to-toe. But also Malian has a lot of good matchups in general. So that's comfortable. That's comfortable. Now it gets a tiny bit more tricky. Because I'm going to plonk... I think I'm going to plonk Ottoman up there as well for now. Ottoman are also very good right now. Like, Ottoman are one of the civs that went through a lot of changes in terms of, like, how we've played them. Like, when they first came out, I remember around Red Bull Wallalow times, it was like, all right, age 2, you just blast it. You know? You've got to blast it. But Ottoman can absolutely die to certain things at the moment. For example, English can be annoying for them. I think, like, Zushi can be annoying. Malian can be somewhat annoying, but they're kind of... Like, Delhi. Delhi is quite powerful against Otto. Like, that clash very much depends on the player. So I can't say that Ottoman should be S tier, even though it can fight against most of those things. It's got to be up there. Delhi. Delhi is maybe the civ that has gone through the least strategic changes of maybe all the civs, actually. Like, ever since, and I think it was Vortex that invented the build where you gather just enough gold to get a second scholar, and that's pretty much the build that we've all done and we're all doing every time we play Otto. It's very, very potent, very powerful. Ever since they got Ghazi Riders as well, it's just kind of added to how strong Delhi are. Because when I used to play things like H3, it's like H3 hard counter Delhi. Anything that could, like, have men-at-arms in H2 was pretty good against Delhi. Now, not the case. And it's made certain matchups like Delhi against English even harder for the English player. So I think that's how I'd put those right now. Gotta have Jaune up here. Jaune's solid. Jaune's really solid. She is. She's a badass. I'm looking at this now and I'm like, do I move Iobid up to S tier? Because if I play Iobid, I don't think it stands up to Zushi, actually. I think Zushi in general is just better. But Jaune's very powerful. And the thing that makes Jaune difficult is as soon as Jaune is in a game, you have to play Jaune's game. You're no longer playing your game. You're playing Jaune's game. So in that respect, it's very much got the... It's very much got that Delhi feeling to it, in that you're no longer playing your strat. You have to account for the fact that Delhi's going to go for the sites. How do you stop them? Jaune, it's like, Jaune's on the map. How do you stop her? So that's what makes, like, a Delhi or a Jaune powerful. You're playing their game now. And sometimes when a civ kind of grabs you by the horns and you have to play their game, that's what people find tricky. Mongol? I'm going to have to put Mongol up here. I think Mongol's good, you know. I do think Mongol's good. It's obviously very much about trade, but the fact that it can tower rush you and automatically do that thing that we just talked about with these two civs can make you play their game instead. Yeah, I think that's where Mongol belongs, actually. Because I look at most of these matchups, and Mongol can be a thorn in your side, for sure. Now, the next row of civs. This is where it gets tricky for me. Because as far as, like, combatant civs go, I think all of these can potentially fight against one another. You can end up with, you know, some matchups, but these bad boys, where do these go? Because, yeah, if you line up a civ against Zushi, I just feel like most civs are going to be bad. I do, but I'm going to put English here. I played English today, and I played against Ral playing Malian, and Ral's kind of like a Malian expert, I would say, on the ladder. And I actually beat him with English, and I class that as one of English's weaker matchups, but English can be annoying against Ushi. They're not good against Rus because of the eco. Like, English has low eco. So English very much play like Terran in StarCraft 2, for any StarCraft fans. They will harass the opponent to slow down their eco to match English's. But they have very good harass tools. Lombo, Spearman, like they're very good about the tempo. Doesn't work too well against Rus because Rus are very, very good defensively, but also have very good eco. Iabit, maybe it could be annoying, for sure. Malian tends to not work out that well. Javelin throws are amazing. Against Ottoman, they're very good. Against Delhi, not so good. Against Jean, I think not the best. And against Mongol, it's very questionable. But I think English is enough of a civ that you can plonk it in, and it'll be pretty damn solid. Alrighty. What next? This gets really tough, actually. If I'm looking at this, and I'm like, how do these civs match up? I think I'm going to plonk Abbasid in C tier. English is very good against Abbasid. Abbasid, what are they good against? Like, I look at most of these, and I'm like, I don't like Abbasid against most of them. Which is kind of funny. Because Abbasid, for a while, when they got the military wing change, I classed Abbasid as, like, Giga tier, you know? It was like, they were S tier with Rus, and slightly behind Rus, because Rus technically are good against Abbasid, but Abbasid, the game is going so fast now. I know a lot of players have complained about, like, 2TC meta and whatnot, but we're very much in an era now where you can 2TC, but a lot of these civs have very, very, very prominent ways of slowing you down, which definitely hurts Abbasid, unless there's a map for them. But given the current map pool and how things are, I don't think it's that strong for Abba. Like, if you go on Hidden Valley, where your second berry pack is so damn far away, and you want to, like, connect your buildings up with Abbasid to get the Golden Age and stuff, it doesn't feel the best for them. There's, like, so many better options. I think I'm still going to put French pretty good. Like, around B. I think French is fairly okay. I don't know. I've actually not played French that much recently, or played that many French players, but I still get the feeling that French is alright, you know? Like, I definitely do. I felt that they were okay before. They definitely have some matchups where it's like, ugh, how does that go? Like, but they can compete with a Rus. I think to some degree they can maybe compete with a few of these civs as well. There's certain civ matchups for French that I don't like at all, such as French Malian. So hard. But yeah, I kind of like the look of this so far. China? Where do I put China? Barely play China at all either anymore, actually. That's going to be a tricky one to place, but Japan, I'm going to put Japan here. I think Japan is very decent on maps like Canal, but still, you can run into civs that are quite tricky for Japan, like English in general, or Ottoman's kind of tricky for Japan. Mongol can be tricky for Japan. I mean, Jean d'Arc's actually a real giga annoying one, as is Delhi for Japan, but I might be a bit biased here putting Japan here, just because I like them so much, but I think they're I'd class them as like a very mid-civ. Like, if you were to balance the game around Japan and you made every civ close to it, I think that's probably where I'd put them. And speaking of mid-tier, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I do feel that Byzantine... Like, where would I put Byzantine? I don't know. I think HRE's still alright, you know. Sometimes I play HRE, and I remember how cool I feel HRE is. Like, Hatery is still, you can play 2TC, you can play quite economic. Granted, there's going to be games that you get slaughtered just because it's a bad matchup, you know? But they absolutely have a place. They absolutely have a place. And it's still a civ that we haven't totally figured out. Like, players play it very differently. Like, BC is a man that lives and dies by the fast stage 3 / fast stage 4 kind of thing. I'm a player that plays Hatery with, like, a bit more aggressive in feudal and, like, more eco-orientated, I'd say, with, like, second TC and stuff. But, I'd say, yeah, I'd say Hatery is better than Abbasid right now. I would. And you know what? Where do I put Byzantine, lads? I don't know if I'm putting Byzantine here or here. You know what? Actually, I've been enjoying Byzantine quite a bit recently, and I don't think they're as bad as I once thought. I'm putting them there. I really don't think they're as bad as I once thought. Like, I played a Byzantine game against Raul today, who, again, Raul picks, like, Malian. He's very good with Malian. He's very good with Zushi. Does a lot of these all-ins. And I won with Byzantine. And I didn't feel I played anything super amazing, but I was testing a lot of 2TC with them, which I think is playing the game on hard mode. Yeah, he didn't GG against my Byzantine with Zushi. And, you know, honestly, maybe if he thought Byzantine was F tier and he lost with the S tier civ, it feels kind of bad, right? But I'm going to put them there, you know? I can see myself playing them potentially in a tournament game, depending on the map and what matchups are left, because I don't mind them. It's weird how far it's come for me. Alrighty, so I now have to think about China and order. Because right now, yeah, the B tier is definitely, you know, I think those are the B tier civs. China. Even though Zushi and China are both Chinese, obviously, it does feel like Zushi fills a lot of the holes that China has, such as, like, kind of a weaker early game and stuff. But what would I want to play China against right now? Like, China against Ottoman, for example, is actually okay for China. But I'm okay with playing Abbasid. English can be tricky, French can be tricky, but sort of okay. Japan? Would I want China? Maybe it's not bad. Very interesting, actually. Like, without me playing too much China, it's very hard for me to say where they should go. But I kind of have to put them... I'll put them there. I'm actually going to put them there, yeah. That feels about right. Although maybe I'm getting this all completely wrong. I don't know. Well, it's my tier list. I can't get it wrong. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. I think they're still decent on certain maps, like a Four Lakes kind of thing, or a general water map. But when it comes to playing, I can't think of a civ that I'd love to play with China. Maybe here. I think they're better than ABBA, but are they? Are they that much better than ABBA? I'll put it there. All right, Order of the Dragon. Order of the Dragon. I do think you bad. I do think you bad, sir. But how bad are you? How bad are you? This is the question. Because I've had a few games recently where I've played Order of the Dragon, and there's times when I play like a Zushi or a Jean, and I just feel dominated, you know, but can I see myself, like, when I win with Order, what have I won against? Quite a few of the okay civs, but I've also got manhandled by quite a few of the okay civs. Alright. Where... Better than ABBA? Worse than ABBA? Better than China? if you put me in a tournament situation, and I know that my opponent is picking one of the A-tier civs, what do I think I have a better shot with? Abbasid, China, or Order? So hard, because against Zhorn I don't like it at all. Against China it might be rough, because you don't have enough units to really do that much, but... You know what? We're cooking. We're putting it. We're actually putting them. I'm putting them above China and Abba for now. I think I've got to. I think I've got to. And I know. Abbasid being my current worst civ. I think that's how it's got to be. I think that's how it's got to be. I almost don't feel that Abbasid is... Like, Abbasid can play against French, for example. Can play against HRE, Ottoman to some degree, but it's... I think that's what I'm going to go with. So, gamers, this will be the Civ tier list for now. This is kind of my order of gaming. This is the tier list that will bring balance to the force. It certainly will. It certainly will. So, guys and girls, thank you for watching. I want to hear what you guys think about it in the comments below, and make sure to let me know so I can read them. And yeah, we'll have a banging good time. All right. Time for games, gamers. Time for games. Let's get the AoE 4.